If you're a custom decoration business, whether it be print, embroidery, or other, you're going to be using a lot of blank product listings and blank product categories. Now, these are two commonly used widgets for a business that is pushing custom decoration services where we want our customers to primarily come onto our website, select a blank product, and then add their artwork to it and make a purchase. These widgets are less used by affiliates who are pushing retail decorated products in which the customer really doesn't need the ability to select something blank and then design it themselves. They would more or less just choose a decorated product that they want to purchase that already has the design and the price and so forth. So, if you're a printing, embroidery, or do any other type of decoration process, it's all going to start with using the blank product listing. So we'll drag the widget onto here. And this is one of the more powerful and expansive widgets within the software. There are many different settings and configurations, and it'll really allow you to push the limits and create something unique looking while having to not use any custom CSS, HTML, jQuery, other type of coding, which is again very powerful. So what we're going to do is, when it comes to displaying the blank product listing, again, these are the blank products that a customer is then going to select and add their artwork to it and then purchase. So right off the bat, what we can do is we can decide, well, how many products do we want to display? Do we want to display 20? Do we want to display 20 or 12, 20, 100? And the more products we have on the page means less total pages. So, you don't want too long of a page, and always be thinking about what is going to be the easiest way for the customer to navigate the product line. Clicking product. So if we wanted to essentially take the customer directly from the blank product to the design tool where they can start adding their artwork and so forth, we absolutely can. Or we can make them go to the product details page first, where they can learn more about the product as far as what it's made of, the available sizes, colors, and everything else like that. We can choose what prices we want to display with the product. Do we want to show just the blank price, the decoration price, or both? What do we want the thumbnail image itself to be? We can either be the sales image or the product image or actually a listing image. And then lastly, we can choose the category that we actually want to display, whether we want it to be all of our customizable products or, an actual category from there. So in this case, we'll just choose apparel printing. And another cool capability is the categories display. If we display categories as tabs, what allows us to do, it allows us to create a top navigation here if we want, in which we can display, okay, we have t-shirts, then we have sweatshirts and polos and so forth. So we can sort the different products right here, and then by coming to this plus and then choose which category and everything else we want it to relate to. So again, just more capabilities within this widget itself than most. Go back to normal for now. Okay. Now, right now I have this at a full width, which I can make it smaller and it will automatically size. And then again, I can choose if I want it to be aligned center. But it's pretty cool how by just simply dragging, you can find the exact width you're looking for very easily. And then again, you'll see it's changing how many images are listed on the row. So right now we're 5. If we keep making it smaller, we'll be 4. And then, we like 6. Now, also within the layout properties, we have spacing. So if we want more spacing to be within each product's widget as a whole, we can come here. If I make it extra large, you can see the spacing got much bigger. We'll set it to more large. By default, it's much closer to medium. Okay, the primary aspects that you're going to be changing for this widget revolve around the design. So right now we have the thumbnail size. Now you saw it was changing how many products were listed on a row based on how wide we are letting this widget be, but the thumbnail size is the actual size of the image. So if we want to make it much bigger, we absolutely can, or much smaller, and that way we could have more. But again, it's going to be more or less revolving around the type of product you're selling and how much information, imagery, and other things that we are looking for. When it comes to hovering over the product, we can add image effects or hover effects. In this case, I'm not going to typically do it because I would like to take advantage of all of these different options as far as listing this blank product. So the panel title, which we don't actually have one at the moment, would be right here. So this, I'm going to just type test panel title, come to the design, and that's where I can override this if I wanted it to talk about, choose a product and customize. The panel design itself. So the panel is this area, but then you actually have within, it's actually kind of, let's just look at it. The thumbnail color. So you have your background color we'll make that black. Well, that's of the image itself. And in our case, we aren't overriding this white background because it doesn't have a transparent. But let's say we wanted to give it a border. So let's give it a black border and let's make it thicker and more rounded, as you can see right there. And that again affects the image of the thumbnail itself. The panel is the whole product, including all of this information we aren't even really seeing at the moment. So if we come to the panel design, let's make this background color now black, and you'll see it makes it all black right there. So another thing you can do is for all of these colors, we have this slider, and this slider is choosing, well, how opaque are we going to be? So if we come to here, it's pretty much non-opaque and it's transparent. Same thing can begin to be done with some of these colors. One way to cheat it as far as no longer using it is to just essentially make it transparent. Although it doesn't solve the problem completely compared to just making it back to what it originally was. Okay. The product name. So right now we're not displaying it. We typically are going to show it above the image. And as far as showing it above, with all of these different settings, we can change the font, the color, the size, the spacing, the weight, which is the boldness. And then a big one is this wrap when multiple lines. So the wrap when multiple lines, you see this adult heavy cotton tee becomes 2 different lines. If I uncheck that, everything becomes one individual line. So you might want to change the font and the spacing and so forth to make the everything fit as consistently as possible. If most of your products are 2 lines, then you want to make sure that those the size and the spacing and so forth makes most of the products act within those 2. You don't want some being 1, 2, and 3. Just like we can with all of these, we can come into we can add a decoration, whether it's an underline, overline, line through, and then again a transformation. Everything is uppercase in this point. We can capitalize, lowercase, or just click none, and you can see it changes some of those aspects. Product code. The product codes are very popular in the decoration industry, but the average individual who's shopping on your website isn't going to worry about it too much. I'm going to put show on image on rollover. And again, just like once I've activated this, I can come to the paintbrush and I can change, okay, how big do I want the code to be displayed and so forth. Product brand logo. I like to skip the product brand itself, come into the logo, show on image. It'll put it in the bottom right hand corner. It does not look bad. And again, it's pretty helpful to the customer if they recognize the brand they're looking for. Product prices, show below. Product colors, show on image on rollover. Product sizes, show on image on rollover. And again, we can come into all of these and make changes and so forth, and you often will want to. Click OK for now, and just to test it, we'll hover over, and you can see we have the code, the colors, and the available sizes. Now, let's say I want the colors to be a little bit bigger. Well, I can come into product colors, click on there. Let's make each of these 15. And I can see the colors are much bigger. So there's all different ways we can affect how everything's going to be displayed and work exactly. And even this, background color can be changed when the customer's hovering over it. So that's how the blank product listing works. Then we also have what's called a blank product category. So essentially, instead of listing all of the blank products themselves, we're going to just list the categories, and then after the customer selects the category, it displays the products that they can then choose to order. So just like we could with the other blank product listing, we can choose what category we want it to be. So we'll do apparel printing again. Click OK. And right now from the get-go, and I have this in a 2-column situation, it lists the images. So this create now is the panel title. Come to design, I can change the size, or within these blank product categories layout, I can choose, okay, do we want to just list them on the left, which is very much so what we might do. Because what we're going to end up doing is we're going to drag this, this widget so that it displays on the right column, and then on the left column is the actual navigation. But instead, again, we can choose how we want this to actually display. We can make it a drop down, we can make it a straight list, but sometimes you actually want to go with the images, so there's no reason we can't. I'm just going to make them much smaller. 100's actually a little bit too small. We'll do 175. And hover effects, we'll give it 50% opacity, that way the customer knows that it's a link. Product category name, I'm going to show that above. Adult, ladies, youth, accessories. Subcategories, I'm not going to show them, but I do want to show the number of items within each. I'm going to show them below. And again, we have all different types of settings, just like every other widget. But because this is such a long page, and I don't want these cramped, let's come back to design. Let's make them 200 in size. That looks nice. So again, there's all just different types. I could have put this at the top of the page. You can put it wherever you want, but the point being is the category listing allows for just more navigation, primarily to make the customer just easier for them to find the correct product that they're looking for. And then again, once they select the product, we can take them into the product details page or directly into the design tools so they can let their imagination run free. Hopefully you find this video helpful on blank product listings and blank product categories. Thank you for watching.